Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Skylar and I am so excited today because I have a book haul, book haul, book haul. I got a book haul, book haul, book haul. I got a book. Okay, enough of that. I have a lot of books. I mean a lot. Let me tell you a story. The story is that I am going away for college in January and I have read most of my books on my bookshelf. So I was like, what the heck? I need books to read when I go to college. So I bought around 50 books. Most of them are series that I have never read and I want to get started into. It's a lot. I didn't buy all this in November. I actually bought some of these books in October. But what happened was I filmed my October book haul and the audio was crap. So when I watched the whole thing, the audio was terrible. I guess I had a bad microphone. I don't know. So I just decided to put this whole video into one. I'm just gonna call it my fall book haul, 50 books, and I probably should get started on this book haul instead of just talking a lot. So grab some coffee, some popcorn, grab what you need because you're gonna be here a while. Alright, just kidding. Alright, anyways, so let me start with the ebooks. First, I am going to start with the ebooks I bought. I bought 2 ebooks during October and November, and the first one is Every Last Word. And this is about a girl who is OCD. She's in high school, and she has this friend group that supposedly makes her OCD worse. And she finds a new group of friends, so she's trying to break away from her old popular friends to be with her new friend. So the first author I bought was actually, I bought his series because I heard somebody tell me that I need to read his series. And I picked up the first book in his series, read it, loved it, bought the rest of his series and 2 more of his books, and that is Patrick Ness. And the first book I bought is the books I bought. The first 3 books I bought were the Walking Chaos series by Patrick Ness. So I bought all 3 books. The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answers, and Monsters of Men, all by Patrick Ness. A book about a boy who lives in this town where no women exist. There are no women, and every man in this town can hear each other's thoughts, and they call this noise. The main character in the book is about to turn a man, and it kind of I don't want to tell you everything about it because it's gonna give some away, and it's about that. So when I read the first book, I was like, no, I need more Patrick Ness books. So I bought A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This book is about a boy whose mom just got diagnosed with cancer and she starts treatment. And shortly after she starts treatment, a monster comes visits him little after midnight. So that's pretty much all I know about this book. I've heard reviews about this book. I've heard that this book makes people cry. I'm like, really, Patrick Ness? You always making me cry. It has beautiful illustrations and stuff, and I'm just really excited to get started with this book. And the last and final book I bought from Patrick Ness is The Rest of Us Just Live Here. This is about, like, I guess probably a zombie apocalypse, and you know how like in books you usually follow around the heroine or the hero of the book, and this book kind of follows the people who aren't the heroes and who are just normal like me and you, because like if a zombie apocalypse happening, I ain't no hero. I enjoyed Patrick Ness' first book and I hope I'll enjoy his rest. I'm excited to start this, so let's go. The next series I bought, the next author I bought, I had heard a lot of raves and reviews about this book, this author, and this series, so I was like, okay, let me just buy the whole series. The first book in the series I got on Amazon Kindle, so I paid only $1.69. I think it was on sale. So the series is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I bought this book on ebook and the rest I have actually physical copies. Hair of Fire, Crown of Midnight, and the last one that just came out, Queen of Shadows. And I also bought up the little novellas of the series, and it is called The Assassin Blade. The next book series I bought, I kind of was hesitant on, but one of my friends convinced me to buy this book. The first time I tried to read this author and her first series, I did not like it at all. I hated the book. I didn't see what the hype is. It's a very hype book, a very hype author, and I couldn't get past the first book. I did not like this book. But somebody told me, one of my good friends told me that she also did not like the first series that I tried to read, but she said her next series was really good and she enjoyed it, so I decided to pick it up because I value her opinion, and if she lied to me and it's not a good book series, I'm gonna kill her. But it is The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. So I picked this up off of Amazon. This is the soft cover book set, and it has the new covers, and it just comes with Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. The next two books are actually standalone books, but they are by the same author. I read one book of the author and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I'll pick up the second two. Well, she has more than two books, but I thought I'll pick up another two books from her. It is Fangirl and Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Okay, so the next few books is the first three books in the series. I think the last one comes out next year, April. It is the Raven Boy series, or the Raven Cycle. And I got the first three books. So, the first one is The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily Lily Blue. So, I don't know what this series is about. People were raving about these series, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick it up. Decided to start that series. I hope I enjoy it because, like I said, I bought all three books without reading the first one. See if I liked it. Oh well. Alright, so the next few books I actually did not buy. It's not series, they're just standalones by a whole bunch of different authors, so I'm just gonna quickly run through them. The first one I bought was Another Day by David Levithan. I read the first book, I liked it. And it was a beautiful read. It was an interesting read. It was thought-provoking, so I decided to pick up the second book. So the next book I bought is also a standalone novel, and it is by Robin Schneider, and it is The Beginning of Everything. Oh god, this is a washed out cover. Now this is about a boy who's supposed to be homecoming king with his girlfriend, but instead of everything is supposed to be going perfect, and instead of that happening, he ends up breaking up with his girlfriend and shattering his leg in an accident, and that's when everything good is about to start in his life. So I'm interested to read this one. I need to read more standalones. I think I'll enjoy this one. So yeah. The next one I got is also a standalone, a memoir, and it is called Wild. This is about a woman at 21 whose mother had died and she was already divorced at 21. So she decides, without any experience, to go hike across the Pan Pacific, I think it is. The Pacific Crest Trail. Two books I bought actually was because for extra credit on my physics class. He said we could go watch the movies, but I was like, can we read the book? Because, like, every book person reads the book before they watch the movie. And he was like, okay, if you want to read the book, show me that you bought the book, and then you get the extra credit. So the first one is Into Thin Air, and it is about the 1996 Mount Everest disaster. The next book I bought, I actually saw the movie because I heard it was really good, and it is Martian by Andy Weir. This is about an astronaut who gets left on Mars by his team, and he has to survive on Mars until the next Mars mission, which is in about 4 years. I heard people really love this book, enjoyed the book. I saw the movie, I enjoyed it. And look, my boyfriend's on the cover. Raymond is my boo. That's my bae. My bae is on my book. So this is my favorite book now, because my baby on it. The next book I bought, I thought would be a cute little book. It came out on my recommendation section on Amazon. I hate this section because they make you buy more books. But it is Counting by Sevens. The next book is also being made into a movie, and I needed to read the book before I see the movie because the movie looked really good. And it is Room by Emma Donahue. The next book I bought was supposed to be for Banned Book Week back in October, but I didn't get a chance to read it. And it is the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian. This is about a boy who lives on the reservation. He's Native American, and he decides that one day he wants to up his education, so he decides to transfer to an all-white high school. And the only other Indian that goes to his school is the mascot of the school. His parents disown him because he decides to leave the reservation to go to the all-white school, and then he's the only brown person in an all-white school. I can relate to that. Next book I heard really good things about, and it is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. It has won so much prizes. One day I was just strolling through Barnes and Nobles and I saw this, read the back, and thought it was interesting. This is about two boys who are exact opposites in every way. It is about their friendship and coming of age novel. Not really sure what it's about, but I heard absolutely good things about this book. Last book of the standalone novels, well no, the second to last book, is a book that I read in 7th grade, and I love this book, and I needed to pick it up again because I lost my copy since 7th grade. And it is The Outsiders by S.E. Hilton. Okay, so the next 4 books I bought is also by the same author, probably one of my favorite authors of all time, and it is Rick Riordan. And I bought the last 3 books in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is The Mark of Athena, House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus. And the last book I bought by Rick Riordan is actually a new series, and I'm so excited because Rick Riordan is Bay in my book world, okay? So, I picked up this new series, and this is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. The 5 books I have right here, right now, is by the same author. I'm not going to give you a rundown on what the books are about because I don't know, but I know they're good books. The first series I bought is the Legend trilogy by Mary Lou. So the first one is Legend, Prodigy, and Champion. I also bought the first 2 books in the Young Elites by Mary Lou, and that is The Young Elites, The Rose Society. Anyways, the next few books I have are beginning of series. So the first one is Snow Like Ashes. This is about a town named Winter who was overtaken, and it was left without magic and an anarchy. But there was 8 people who escaped from these attacks, and it was up to them to save the town of Winter, restore the magic, restore the anarchy, restore whatever needs to be restored. I'm so interested in this book. It seems right up my alley, so I bought it off of Amazon. The next book I have is a retelling of 1001 Nights, and it is The Wrath and the Dawn. This is about a lady who marries a king, but the king is weird because, like, every night for 1,000 nights he's been marrying somebody new and killing them before day comes. And she decides to keep him alive by telling him stories. The next thing I heard is the book I bought. I heard some mixed reviews, so I thought I'd read it for myself before I formed any opinion. And it is The Red Queen. This is about people who are split into two, the Reds and the Whites. The Reds are people who bleed red blood, and the Whites or Silvers are people who bleed silver blood. And the Silvers, they have magical powers, and they're the hierarchy, and they are just like the best. And this book follows a girl who's a Red, but she discovers that she has magical powers like the Silvers. Oh my god. The next book I have is 6 of Crows. Beautiful book. Look at that black binding, those black pages. Oh my gosh, this book is so beautiful. This book is set into the Grisha world, and it is a heist book, and heist books remind me of Ocean 12, and I like Ocean 12 and Ocean 13 and Ocean 11 because all the sexiest people are in that movie. Next book is probably the most beautiful book I bought in the fall, and I am just excited, and it is Illuminae, and this is just a beautiful book. But I bought it because I heard rave reviews on it, and I was like, conspiracies, like about conspiracy theories and conspiracies and alien invasions, and I'm like, oh my god, somebody has written a book just for me. It is like written in like emails, text messages, confidential files on you. Okay, so the next 2 books, of course, is by the same person. It is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, The Days of Blood and Starlight. But the first 2 books I bought is Bud, Not Buddy, and Outlander. And these are the next 2 books are my personal growth books. You know, I'm becoming an adult and I need to read and grow personally, or you know, whatever. So I picked up The Outlier, and The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Finally, the last 3 books. I'm gonna kill myself because this has been going on for 40 minutes. It took me 40 minutes to make this video. You know, next 2 books, complete series that needed to be completed on my bookshelf. And the first one is The Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. And this is the last book in the trilogy of Miss Peregrine's Home for Imaginary Children. And the last 2 series I read a long time ago, but I've never bought the last 2 books, and I'm pissed that I waited so long because they changed the covers up on me and they don't match. But that's okay because I love these books. And it is the last 2 books in the Vampire Academy series by Rachel Mead. So finally, we are done, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sitting through and watch me ramble about books. But since we're book lovers, it's okay. I know you enjoyed that. So thank you for watching again. I'm going to have some book reviews up on my channel, so stay tuned for those. Once again, thank you for watching this long, never-ending books. Oh.